What's going on, everybody? Good evening to you. Knicks Deli here, your host here. I'm the proprietor of Knicks Deli. I'm the owner of Knicks Deli. And I'm just here on a check-in. This ain't my typical video style, but here it is. So, as you all know by now, news came out recently that the New York Knicks passed on an opportunity to get Paul George in the Mecca. Passed on the opportunity, all right? And I saw it at first. Actually, I heard it leak. I heard some news leak about it about 2 weeks ago, maybe about a week and a half ago, maybe not that long, maybe about a week and a half ago. And the leak came out that we don't know who the superstar is. I think it was Windhorse. I think it was Wendy that said it, or it could have been Woj. And he said that the New York Knicks were very close to getting a superstar to New York. But then they pulled back on it. But they said IQ was at the center of that particular trade. Now, had it gone through, IQ would have been in another situation where he would have had an opportunity to start, but he also would have been in a situation where he would have been playing with the superstar himself had he been shipped to the Clippers. So that makes sense to me because it shows once again that the New York Knicks are putting whoever they're sending out also in a good situation that they're asking for. And we all know that IQ has been asking or been stating that he feels he's a starter in this league. So if they had gone through with that trade, then IQ would have been in LA as the starting point guard or as a point guard for the Los Angeles Clippers. Come on, man. It don't get no better playing next to Kawhi. It don't get no better than that. All right? So, but the fact that they pulled back on it, and now with today's recent announcements or yesterday's, whichever day it was, that the New York Knicks were close to acquiring Paul George. And then at the last minute, he talked about wanting an extension and them walking away from the table. I fucking love that shit. I love it. I love it. These ain't your dad's New York Knicks. These ain't your big brother's New York Knicks. These ain't the New York Knicks from the last 20 years, bro. I love it. This ain't them from the last 20 years. And basically, they're sending a message. You saw that article or that quote that came out within the last 3 weeks where they're saying NBA executives around the league are respecting the way the New York Knicks front office is moving. You saw that quote. Paul George is 33 years old. Everybody is talking on Twitter about him like he's 21. Oh, he's a two-way player. He's that exact wing that we need, this, that, and the third. Bro, no. I remember when we had that team full of veterans with Jason Kidd or whatever, and we put that team together, and what is it, TNT. Charles Barkley, they asked Charles Barkley, like, what you think about this team? He said, I think this team could win a championship 5 years ago. We don't want that. Y'all complain about Mitchell Robinson and his injuries, and he's at the very beginning of his career and establishing what his body's going to be playing at his prime in the NBA. And y'all want to bring in Paul George? I know he's a talent, but it's done. It's done. Come on, he can't have a little light stretch of 8 games and start cooking people and everybody want, come on, he's done. We want a superstar or a star who is ascending, who meets the timeline of our players. We got one of the youngest teams in the league. That's what we want. We want somebody who's going to fit the timeline. But you know what I mean? That timeline might change depending on who you ship out. So what? We want an ascending superstar or a superstar who is in this prime. That's it. That's the price. So Leon Rose, Tom Thibodeau, William Wesley, whoever's making decisions over there, kudos to you. Thank you. Thank you. New York Knicks fans, pay attention. Because the moment you start doing that and you start walking away, you take back your power. For 23, 25 plus years, New York Knicks have been known as a desperate franchise, a poverty franchise. We'll jump at the opportunity to be relevant no more. We ain't doing that no more. We don't want to make a half-ass move and then be stuck and mired in mediocrity. Be mindful whether they're the small moves or the large moves. This New York Knicks organization has always, from day one, said that we want to win sustainably into the future. For them to even get Josh Hart to opt into his contract so they could sign Dante DiVincenzo and still have the opportunity to possibly pull off the move. Come on, man. Organizational culture, organizational competence is what you're seeing in the Mecca. That's what you're seeing. And that's not only you that's seeing it. It was small, and maybe that little quote or that little like, it wasn't even a quote, it was a like. And I misquoted it because when I talked about Joel Embiid and having some interest, he saw that the New York Knicks made the move for Obi Toppin to go to Indiana. And I thought that the quote said processing until I looked at his page itself. And that's his general heading on his Twitter page. He simply liked the post. He knows his days are numbered in Philly. He knows it's probably time for fresh energy and a fresh juice. He done got the MVP. He done seen his MVP rival all these years just secure a championship. And he's looking around at what he has. And he asking himself, can he win with that? Doesn't matter. So when you make sound decisions on the largest stage, or you make a decision to turn away from a Paul George type, players and free agents, or players who may be looking to leverage their power forward trade like Joel Embiid, they pay attention. So that's my take on this Paul George news and the New York Knicks passing on him. Pass. I love it. They are establishing their reputation as a super smart, super intelligent, savvy, unafraid to walk away organization. This is all part of the process. And if we don't get a player, then we're going to go into the season the same way, and I'm good with it. Have patience. We've come too far to not have patience. We've come too far to make a stupid move just because we want to flex on the gram. We want to flex on Twitter. We want to say we doing things. We're not making those type of moves just to say we did it. Many of you, it sounds like that's what you want. I just want to make a move. Nah. You wildin'. So that's all I have. Paul George, the New York Knicks decided to pass on him. Watch he tweak his knee getting a icy from, forget it. Yo, I'm out. It's late. Listen, man, keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. But also keep this in mind with our New York Knicks. We are not here. We are here right now. Sheer brilliance. Checking out Knicks Deli. Peace.